Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Ab Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 214. What do you have in menu, coach, today? First of all, I want to compare Anthony Richard to Paul BYRON. Then, I want to talk about the World Junior Championship, the player the Montreal Canadiens should watch. Then, Chris Whiteman and Joel Edmundson. Two players, I'm going to talk about them at the end of this video. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and please leave me a comment about this episode. Let's dive in about the first subject of the day. My first subject, guys, about Anthony Richard look like Paul BYRON. What are you talking about, coach? First of all, if you don't know, both players start their career with the Montreal Canadiens at 26 years old. The difference between both of them, guys, is Anthony Richard played only 2 games before he joined the Montreal Canadiens, and then Paul BYRON played over 138 games in NHL. That's the only two difference you have when you talk about those two players. Both have the same size. Then they have the same kind, the quality of their speed is really one, they are really good. Then the separation. When you talk about separation, they can pick it up the puck and flying like a rocket on the ice. They look like similar. If you think about the goal of Anthony Richard against Colorado Avalanche last week, that's exactly what happening. He just beat the both defensemen for the Colorado Avalanche, breakaway, and he scored his first goal in NHL. Something like Paul BYRON did so many times with the Montreal Canadiens. The another way where the very important for both players when they play for their team is the special team on the short and third, on the PK, honestly. Why? Because the speed can create some kind of quick decision for opponent team and make some kind of mistake at the end. So this is one reason why I would say to you, both players look like the same at the end of the day. Look now, Martin St. Louis, the head coach, bench Dadonov Pesada during the 3-game Montreal Canadiens Anthony Richard play. So they give you an idea where really Martin St. Louis maybe like the style of the Anthony Richard with the Montreal Canadiens. I just want to show to you guys a little bit the similarity between Paul BYRON and Anthony Richard. I don't know what would be the next move from the Montreal Canadiens. We know what Monahan and Gallagher is coming back. What will happening to Anthony Richard? But please leave me a comments. What do you think about my similarity between BYRON and Anthony Richard? Let's move on now, guys, for the next subject of the day. Subject of the day, guys, about the World Junior Championship 2023 players to watch for the Montreal Canadiens. We know Montreal Canadiens going to have 2 solid picks next year at the NHL Draft 2023 is going to be in Nashville. And I understand you guys, most of you watching the World Junior Championship, you know what's going on with Team Canada and other teams. So I don't want to bring you update here. At least some specific player for the Montreal prospect have a good game. I will bring you guys some update. Otherwise, I don't want to use my app the news talking only about the World Junior Championship, the score, the standing, everything like that. But I want to talk again today. Already we know the Bedard, the Fantilli, the Leo Carlson, all 3 players going to be at the top 5 pick in the NHL Draft 2023. But Montreal Canadiens may be looking for other players in that tournament. 2 players I'm looking for because we know Montreal Canadiens are really looking for a right defenseman. This is one area Montreal have to become better in the next year or in the future too. So they have 2 players play at the tournament. One is from Sweden. It's Sandin Pellikka. He's a right defenseman, 17 years old. What is really unique about him, guys, he played already in the SHL. So he played professionally at 17 years old. He has 14 games and he has already 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. And one of the reasons why is get point reason why the people like him is because first of all, he's an amazing, great skater. He's really mobile with a puck mover. Then his IQ is excellent. But the most important thing for me is mobility. He uses his skating on the running a power play for the team in Sweden. He play on the power play 1 or 2 right now for Team Sweden. We know Sweden won today by the score 11-0. And Adam Engstrom for the Montreal Canadiens prospect had 2 assists today. But it's something I think you should pay a little bit more attention about Sandin Pellikka. The second defenseman I'm talking about, I talked about him this week, David Renbacher. He's a player from Austria. He's a right defenseman, 18 years old. And one thing we like from him, guys, that he played already on the Swiss A League. It's pretty high level. This is the biggest league you have in Switzerland. You have 20 games already. You have 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. And what is special with him, he's a two-way player. The projection about him is to see him a top 4 in any team in the NHL in the future. His IQ is great. With his mobility is excellent for a defenseman. He's already 6 foot, 185 pounds. I'm finishing with 2 players you can maybe watch during that tournament. Is going to be for Cheshire. We see him play again in Team Canada. He was not a major key player for Team Cheshire. They have so much excellent player, but it's Edouard Sall. Is coming to be a top 15 in the NHL draft next season. Then the second one, I will set you Charlie Stramel with a Team USA. 6-3 play with Wisconsin, Badger, and NCAA. Another top 15. Look, they have an opportunity right now to show a lot of things on the tournament to increasing their value on the NHL draft. But it's 2 players, I believe, Montreal Canadiens are going to pay attention. We know many scouts and staff management is right now at the World Junior Championship in Halifax and Moncton. And this complete, guys, my second subject of the day. I would like to hear from you guys what do you think about the players I just mentioned. If you have any comments you want to mention about those, if you have any comments you want to know more about different players, prospect for NHL Draft 2023, please let me know. I will definitely respond to you. Let's move on now, guys, for the last subject of the day. Guys, it's time for holidays, so we're not talking about sprinting for the Montreal Canadiens, where some fit players make something very great. First of all, I want to talk my last subject about Chris Whiteman gave back, and then Joel Edmundson mentor. Let's talking first, guys, about Chris Whiteman. Whiteman gave back in Dallas when they played last week against the Dallas Stars. First of all, he's a godfather of the son to his best buddy, went to high school. And Chris Whiteman want to give back always when he had an opportunity. And he took advantage of this game in Dallas to meet his buddy with friend young kids around the Montreal Canadiens team during the practice the morning. They bring all those 12 little kids at the game. But before the game, Chris Whiteman gave back.
Everybody's got sweatshirts.
Oh, yeah. Why do you have 2 hot?
Why do I have 2? Because I'm going to give one to you after. How's that feel? How's that? You smile? There you go. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah! You don't want some coffee. What does she want?
He doesn't want calls.
Hey, you're making a big mistake. You're making a big mistake, little man. You guys move for a night.
Come on. You know. Yes!
First of all, it would look like it was a Christmas in Dallas because what happening, guys? Not only Chris Whiteman, Joel Edmundson gave his sick. Josh Anderson gave his sick. And then you have Nick Zuski and Cole Caulfield take 20 minutes to sign autograph, play with a kid, and give their sick. And this is all about hockey is a great tool to give back to the young kids. Remember, if you remember one video a couple of days ago, I talked about the impact of Joe Pavelski on Cole Caulfield when he played a U12 tournament in San Jose. That's what Cole Caulfield tried to accomplish with the Montreal Canadiens. We have an opportunity to give back to the kid. That's what he does all the time. So great opportunity for Chris Whiteman to celebrate holidays. Finally, I want to talk about Joel Edmundson, guys. Why? Because Edmundson, he become a mentor for the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of people thinking they're going to trade him. I'm still not sure they're going to do it this year at the trade deadline. At least they got something big in return. I expect more Edmundson could be trade only in the trade deadline in 2024. He still have 1 more year of his contract at $3.5 million. So I don't see Edmundson go nowhere. He's really important, I believe, for as a veteran with the Montreal Canadiens, and he played a big role inside the locker room and on the ice for the Montreal. But I want to mention one story I heard about Joel Edmundson. First of all, his mentor when he played with the St. Louis Blues when he came in the NHL was Kevin Shattenkirk. The reason why both of them have something in common is about the music. Both of them love music. Kevin Shattenkirk was in charge about the DJ music inside the locker room in the St. Louis Blues. But all the time, Joel Edmundson, he was trying to put his own music with there and helping Shattenkirk. And Kevin have a great story about him. He said, look, I will give you a couple of days. I'm going to sharing with you the music. And we know Joel Edmundson run the music as inside the locker room for the Montreal Canadiens. He's going to be a part of this. Edmundson is really an outgoing person, really smiling. He brings energy. He's really like the people have a good time, have a fun around him. And that's what Joel presented Edmundson with the Montreal Canadiens. Kirk have a story about this. He said, look, I believe it's Joel Edmundson asked at the gym Doug Armstrong to trade me to become the DJ about the music inside the locker room for the St. Louis Blues. So just sharing with you a couple of things. Sometimes we always thinking about the system, the line, who did great, who did bad. But I think it was a good time today during the time of celebration and the holidays, sharing a couple of things, what happening around the Montreal Canadiens that Chris Whiteman gave back and the Joel Edmundson as a mentor. He have a big effect on his front player like Caden Coley or Jordan Harris or Albert Jekai. And he does really well how he does with the Montreal Canadiens inside the locker room. So guys, today was fun about Whiteman and Edmundson. But before we leave, we would like to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about my 3 subjects I have for you on this episode. Here we go. 2-1-4 over, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Anthony Richard, the World Junior Championship. Chris Whiteman and Joel Edmundson. Thanks again for watching us today. But before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey National Show, and please leave me a comment. I want to hear from you guys, and I want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you, and I wish you an amazing, blessing day, everybody.